Welcome to Citi Field, home of the Mets. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Electric stuff from Noah Syndergaard here last night. So the Nats hoping for a curly W to set up a rubber game tomorrow, and that would be Steven Strasburg. Tonight it's Gio and Bartolo Colon. Bob and FP, welcome to the ballpark. Over the years, divisions have a way of getting stronger then weaker. They kind of ebb and flow. Season series can be that way as well. And now the Mets have turned things around after the Nats dominated them for the better part of 3 years.
Yeah, the Nats had some serious ownage on the Mets, but the Nats were just getting good. The Mets hadn't gotten good yet. You come up here to Citi Field and win every single ball game. But the tide has turned, and you look at the stats overall, 41-15. On the road, 24-5. The Nats versus the Mets since 2012. It's changed. The Mets have gotten better, and I think something people don't talk about too often, Citi Field has gotten better. The crowds here are electric. This place used to be a morgue early on in this series, and now when you come here, there's pure energy. The New York baseball fan is into it. Their love affair with the Mets is as fresh as it's always been, and it's fun to come to this ballpark where before it really wasn't. The atmosphere here was horrible.
Yeah, nothing like winning the pennant, going to the World Series to get everybody charged up. We'll see a reversal in more ways than one tonight. First, let's start with the 100-mile-an-hour stuff of Noah Syndergaard. He was up there for more than a dozen pitches last night. 14
pitches, 100 miles an hour for Noah Syndergaard, and it just seemed like the Nats hitters didn't have a chance. When you're talking about a guy throwing 100 miles an hour, you have 4.5 tenths of a second to react to a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. You have 3.5 tenths of a second to react to a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, so it's 146.7 feet per second. You take in the fact that he's 6'6", his stride, his release point, Nats hitters didn't have a chance last night, not even to mention the 92-mile-an-hour slider that he was burying at your back knee. A little different story tonight, a guy that relies on command, although he throws the fastball a lot, 86% of the time. He'll run it in, he'll cut it. He's more about deception and movement, but in my opinion, the ball should look a lot bigger to Nats hitters tonight.
Yeah. Dusty Baker agrees with that. He was asked at his presser this afternoon about the difference in these pitchers, and he said, as a hitter, I really like 88, 89, and hopefully our guys will. But given that in mind, what adjustments do they make? Because our ball club still isn't hitting FP. This is an offense we're still waiting on to gel.
I think they're collectively pressing as a group. You can see it. I mean, guys are squeezing the wood out of the bat right now. Death grip on the bat. You just got to relax, go up there and do little things. Have good at-bats. Go deep into counts. Try to walk. Do something to help the ball club win, because as a hitter, when you start worrying about getting hits and we're slumping, it's just going to get worse. Baseball is a sport where the harder you try, the worse you get.
Dusty also said he believes his offense are a bunch of warm weather guys, and we're still waiting for that. So here's Gio. Got the great ERA. He's in the top 6 in the National League right now. He's getting his swings and misses despite not throwing as hard as he used to. 2-1, the league only hitting .224 against him. More on Gio coming up. Field where the Mets are 10-6 on the year. The Nationals on the road are 11-9 in the division. Washington 13-10. New York 10-6. Gio gets center stage tonight. He started 17 games in his career against the Mets. Loves this ballpark. Over the years, he's 9-4. And we look back on some of the things he did to them recently.
The evolution of Gio Gonzalez, it's been fun to watch him progress as a Washington National. As an Oakland Athletic, he was a guy that just threw hard. He's going to blow it by you. His first year as a Nat, same way, spraying the fastball all over the place, 94, 95. And a guy now that's known for his command, his control, and would you believe his poise on the mound? So you look at his numbers at Citi Field, he has the lowest ERA of any pitcher that's ever pitched in this ballpark, including the Mets, a 1.54 ERA in 11 starts. So Gio Gonzalez likes New York, he likes Citi Field, and he's a different pitcher than he was the last couple of years.
It used to be a bigger pitcher's park. They have brought in the walls, but that hasn't bothered Gio at all. So look at the coupling of the numbers, the ERA and the opponent's batting average at just a .63, and he keeps it in the yard. So it's Citi Field, home of the Mets. Not quite the crowd we had for Murph and Syndergaard, but here in the Big Apple, baseball always exciting. Take the 7 train. There might be a Curly W waiting tonight.
Let's go Nats! Let's go Nats! Let's go Nats! Let's go Nats! Let's go!
Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by Dominion. Depend on us for more than energy. Nothing like some cheeseburgers with all the trimmings to warm up your Wednesday night in the Big Apple. It's going to be 59 degrees at game time when BRYCE follows REVERE and WERTH. Humidity, okay. We had a few sprinkles during batting practice. Nothing of consequence. And the wind blowing in such a direction that we'll have some takeoffs from LaGuardia going right over the ballpark tonight. So Jason Worth could be a pick to click tonight. He's in that number 2 spot. 4 for 9, couple of walks against Bartolo Colon career. REVERE's 8 for 21. Anthony Rendon has 4 hits, a homer against the right-hander. And even Gio has a career home run against Bartolo Colon, who at the age of 42 is still going strong. 8 games, 7 starts. And this guy is still getting it done. 221 career wins.
Yeah, 6th in the National League with a 1.89 ERA at home. Co-National League Player of the Week for the week of May 2nd through the 8th. He went 8 shutout against the Braves on May 2nd. And May 7th, the oldest player, 42 years and 349 days to hit his first Major League home run.
That's great. Yeah, he's only 5 days away from another birthday. You know, and Dusty Baker was marveling about him today because somebody said, well, he doesn't exactly look like an athlete out there. Dusty said, don't underestimate a guy like Bartolo Colon. His lower half and his legs are so strong. That's the key to playing deep into your 40s like he's doing.
Well, he's a guy whose fastball averages 88 miles an hour, a lot different from last night.
Right on time at 7:10 Eastern, and it's low in the zone with 88. A strike called by the 19-year veteran Marvin Hudson, who has the plate. Jim Joyce, the crew chief's over at third. James Hoy first. Chad Fairchild second base. Ball one up and away. Ben Revere 1 for 4 last night with an opposite field base hit, which his manager would like to see more of. So would Rick Shue. He flips one to the left. It's out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The defense for the Mets tonight: Cespedes, Lagares, Granderson in the outfield, Cabrera right, left side, Walker Campbell right side, and Kevin Plawecki behind the plate. David Wright back in there tonight. He's got that spinal stenosis, and he's pretty much going to be day-to-day the rest of his career. It's a degenerative thing, and they're trying to figure out how to do this.
Yeah, it kept him out for a long time last year.
They don't know if you go, 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 2 days off. Terry Collins still trying to figure out how he keeps his third baseman healthy for the whole season, or as healthy as he can be.
2-2 to Revere. 5th pitch of the at-bat. It appeared he held again. David Wright was pointing at Jim Joyce for the appeal, and the catcher the same. They didn't get the call, so Wright's into every pitch here.
Ooh,
that's closer than we thought with the naked eye.
He clearly held up, Bob. Come on.
All right.
Wasn't even close.
Next time they'll appeal to us. And that is 89, painting the inside edge right under Ben Revere's bat.
Well, that's what Colon does so well. He throws that front hip sinker, and if you're a lefty that with 2 strikes he's coming in there. Revere gave up. He didn't think it was a strike. Pitch track. And Marvin Hudson did.
So here's Jason Worth. He had a base hit in 4 trips last night. So he's had hits in 12 of his last 16 games. 12 of his 26 hits have been for extra bases. But is it important to not get pull happy just because you're seeing slow pitches the next night?
Yeah, it's important to get a good pitch. And it's always important to get a good pitch. But last night you're trying to hit a bullet out of a gun, basically. And tonight it's more relaxed. You have a whole extra 1/10 of a second, basically, to make your decision up. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but as a hitter it is. That guy was brilliant last night. It's the nastiest stuff I've seen all year.
Didn't walk anybody.
14 pitches, 100 miles an hour.
The Nats put hits together a couple of times, but he shut the door. Worth started out of the box, and another 3-2 count to start the game.
Is nibblization a word? Because that's what Bartolo Colon makes a living of.
The art of nibbling around the outside corner. I do believe it's in the baseball dictionary. Worth takes the walk.
That was nibblization right there.
Let's move along, shall we?
Yeah. All you kids at school, go tell your teachers tomorrow you learned a new word on the Nats broadcast: nibblization. April 6, 2015, Bryce Harper takes a bite out of that one. There's no nibbling at all.
One of 25 homers Bartolo Colon gave up last year.
Hair flip. Standard. That beard was big last year, huh?
So Bryce against Colon, career for 3 for 13. That homer, a couple of RBIs. And that's up and in. With a man at first, Mets play a modified shift on Harper. You might remember the last out last night. He hit the ball hard to the other side, but their third baseman, Matt Reynolds, was right where David Wright is now. Tight zone, 2-0. Good take by Bryce. By the way, didn't walk last night. Not a ton of hits to left, but he uses the ballpark with double digits to center. Big gap in right center. over the head of the second baseman, Neil Walker.
Throwing change up here.
And he missed. 3-0. Sure, the green light's blazing for Bryce if he sees the fastball in front of the former Met, Daniel Murphy, here in the first inning.
So they standing O for Daniel Murphy last night, his first at bat. They booed him the rest of the night. So the fans that weren't here last night, do they cheer for him? This should be a mixed bag, is what I'm calling when he walks up.
I think that's a good call.
Meanwhile,
4-pitch walk, 2 on, 1 out. No contact yet. Yeah, you called it right. There's your mixed reaction.
I figure the fans that didn't get to cheer him that weren't here last night would cheer.
Sure.
The fans that are season ticket holders now, you know, the boos are in. So here, there's your mixed bag. All the way down to $3.99 after a 1 for 3 last night.
It's amazing when you think you've got to get 2 hits every 5 at bats to keep doing what he's doing. He goes up ripping, thinking Colon might try to get ahead after walking 2. Murphy over his last 18 games hitting .429, and he's only faced Bartolo 3 times. Worth at second, Harper at first. Murphy second in the league. That feisty Gene Segura of the Diamondbacks, 58 hits. Daniel has 57. Murphy hits one hard to left center. After it, Cespedes. It'll go tailing back to him off the bat of the left-hander for the second out. Murphy put a charge in it, and with 2 outs, it'll be up to Zimmerman.
Oh, he got pitched right down the middle, little inside-out swing, and you called it perfectly. Watch the fade on the line drive right back to Cespedes, who had to get on his horse. There's all kinds of stuff on the warning track out there. What is that? Plates?
I don't know.
They had a dog parade before.
Plastic plates, napkins.
Yeah. Clean up after yourself.
Yeah, clean up, party deck. Come on.
People born in a barn.
Here's Zimmerman, 1 for 5 against Bartolo. Ryan, 15 hits, 3 homers, 10 RBIs in his last 14 games. Colon really not getting ahead of anybody here. Runs that fastball back to even the count. They give Zimmerman a huge gap in left center. That would drive home 2 runs if he could plug it. Off speed, in on his hands, and that's over the screen.
Seriously, all joking aside, that debris in left center field on the warning track could come into play, right?
Yeah,
I should have said that.
I should have said big gap and garbage in left center.
Yeah, there's carry out trays, debris.
Two on, 2 out. And now Zimmerman, a 1-2 battle. Nobody there except Worth. Fastball up.
When you throw in the low 90s and you're trying to elevate with 2 strikes, you better get it up there, because if you don't, big league hitters will catch up to it and hit it far.
Target is on the outer edge. Zimmerman run off the end of the bat. Slow roller, Walker. And that's it for the Nats in the top of the first. Stranding a couple of runners. They only left 3 all of last night. average, 12th out of 15 in runs, but they hit the long ball. #1 in the major leagues with 55, along with Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Neil Walker has hit 10 of those, and right-handed he's batting .320, so you know he's in there against Gio tonight. Cespedes, their ringleader, with 12 home runs, 32 RBIs. And a bunch of other guys trying to get on base, and David Wright driving the ball occasionally. He has 4 home runs. Kind of an interesting matchup because Gio, as a rule, keeps it in the yard when he pitches here in New York.
Yeah, no decision last start for Gio against Miami. Pitched well, 5 innings, 2 runs on just 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, 106 pitch effort. Last start his fastball average 89, curveball 76, and changeup, which I think is becoming his best pitch, was 81.
Curtis Granderson homered on the first pitch of the game last night. He and Gio have dueled often over the years in the American League and now the National. And that's ruled a swing, 0-2. He is 4 for 30 with a homer, 2 RBIs against Gio Gonzalez, who just struck him out for the 11th time. Lobaton will pick it up and throw on to Zimmerman.
Such a defense for the Nats behind Gio tonight. Worth, Revere, Harper here outfield. Espinosa, Rendon the left side. Murphy, Zimmerman the right side. And Gio's good buddy, Jose Lobaton, behind the plate.
Battery mates chatting with Juan Lagares. Gio now 36 strikeouts, 12 walks in 42 1/3 innings. Here's Lagares, whose playing time has been curtailed somewhat since the addition of Cespedes last year. Former Gold Glove winner. And against the left-hander, he's in there. He's had good success against Gio Gonzalez, 10 for 26. That one he hits so well it carries to Bryce Harper. Quick second out, and David Wright will be next. Wright hitting .229, but his on base percentage .431 because he's taken 25 walks.
Pretty classy right there. Gio gave him a nod. He looked out at Gio, gave him a nod back, and let's play ball.
Pardon me, that .431 was his. Slugging percentage .373, the on base percentage.
The report on Wright this year is that he's been a lot more patient at the plate. Maybe due to his back, who knows? He's not swinging as much as he used to.
Ball popped foul. David now 33 years of age. He's been in the big leagues with the Mets since '04.
Like I said, he is just going up there hacking this year because his back is feeling great.
He must be feeling pretty loose tonight. He was 0 for 9 career against Max Scherzer. He was a late scratch yesterday. David Wright wouldn't duck any pitchers, so don't read too much into that, just for the sake of numbers. Back in there against Gio tonight. We've got some numbers for you from G. Here's what you talked about. Now, Jordan had a Nationals uniform on when he did that. Cole Hamels had a Phillies uniform on when he did his. But look at the disparity. I mean, not even close.
Close, and the guy in the middle just doesn't look right now either. Sorry.
Swing and a miss. Gio, strikeout, line drive to right, strikeout. His night's off to a perfect start. And it'll be Rendon, Espinosa, and Lobaton. That's looking for early offense.
Scherzer's first no-hitter with the first of 2 no-hitter bobbles. That's presented by PNC Bank. On May 23rd, the first 25,000 fans will receive one of those. And if the broadcaster can spit it out of the promo, you'll get another one sometime soon. So May 23rd, Max Scherzer, no-hitter bobblehead.
Very cool. Well, he struck out 10 last night, as did Syndergaard, but those solo home runs by Granderson and Conforto, the difference in the game. The Nats had 5 hits to the Mets 4. 23 pitches, first inning for Bartolo Colon tonight. Only 10 were strikes. He got off the hook when Murphy lined out and Zimmerman grounded out. And here's Anthony Rendon. On base, 11-game streak going for the Nats' third baseman. He's done that with 10 hits and 9 walks.
I'm telling you, the extra time you have tonight as a hitter, as opposed to last night, seems like an eternity. It's hard to put into words. But just so much more relaxed at bat tonight for Nats hitters.
That's a great swing the other way. So a couple of walks in the first inning, and
there goes the no-hitter. He teed me up for it.
Espinosa will be next. I love opposite field hits.
Well, Anthony Rendon's used to hit with nobody on. We talked about it last night. Going into last night's game, he had 117 plate appearances with nobody on. And I just think down the order is good for him. He's going to see some traffic out there, get some different pitches to hit. Nice swing.
Danny Espinosa, rough night last night. 3 swinging strikeouts. 2 of those against Syndergaard. 1 against Addison Reed, who set up the save for Jeurys Familia. He launches one to right. Down in the corner, hooking and foul. Not much of a breeze blowing here. If anything, the breeze helped it stay a little more in line. And Danny Espinosa made a bid for his 3rd homer.
Didn't really have the sound. I didn't think he got it. Maybe off the end a little bit. He's wishing it fair. It wasn't real close. Good swing though.
Danny, last 9 games, hitting .286. 1 for 3 career against Colon, who's given up 6 home runs already this year. And his opponent's batting average .277. So Bartolo's been hittable. The foul ball goes to the left and the bat goes back to the right. Slammed up against the bricks right there on the backstop.
Well, I didn't know where to look. I was following the ball, saw the bat go. Bat went to the backstop, hit the bricks, checking for divots. He and Jose Lobaton seem like they throw their bats more than any Nats hitters.
Ramos has been known to unleash a few. I think per at bat, though, Lobaton far and away the leader among the catchers. That's low and inside on an 0-2 pitch. Plawecki bounced up as if to throw to first, but Rendon was on his way back to the bag. There's Jose Lobaton in the number 8 spot. He starts every time Gio pitches. Jammed him pretty well. Danny Espinosa able to fight that off over the screen.
A lot of people around town talk about call this guy up, call that guy up. As long as you're in first place and you're playing good baseball, it allows you to get locked in, to do your thing, and it buys you time. No matter who it is, whether it's a starting pitcher that's not pitching well, a reliever that's not doing well, a position player. The longer you stay in first place, the longer you play winning baseball, it gives you time to figure out whatever you need to figure out if you're in a scuffle.
1-2 with nobody out. Swinging a foul tip. Espinosa in this series 0 for 4 Ks. And that's Bartolo Colon's second of the night. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
And I think if you start to lose, then you make adjustments. But until it's broke, you don't fix it, in my opinion.
Well, and I thought Phil Wood made a great point on the Nationals radio postgame show last week, talking about people clamoring for Trey Turner and all this. He said, shortstop is one position that's a little bit different. You have to have a really, really great shortstop at the major league level out there every day. It's a hard position to put a kid in and just throw him in there. And, you know, the Nats will know when it's time to make a change if that time comes. But you just don't move shortstops around in and out. That's maybe the most important defensive position on the field other than the catcher.
No, I wasn't talking about anybody specifically. I was just saying as long as you're winning, kind of keep things the way they are. It's sort of the same seats, right?
Exactly. Runner on the move, back to the pitcher. Colon makes a bad throw to second, gets the out, and they turn the 1-6-3 double play. Asdrubal Cabrera, who by the way is a very good shortstop, bailed out his pitcher right there.
Has been plenty effective so far this season. 6th best ERA in the National League, but it's been a little bit of a different Gio this year. We've talked about some of the adjustments he's made from a mental standpoint, but he's also made some adjustments in terms of his fastball velocity. For most of his career, Gio's been a guy who's kind of sat low to mid 90s. This year that fastball velocity is down. It's averaging under 90 miles per hour this season compared to 92 to 93 earlier in his time as a National. Gio told me yesterday that that decrease hasn't necessarily been intentional, but that he would rather be able to locate his fastball than have a slightly higher number on the radar gun and worse command. He feels like this is part of his growth as a pitcher. He credits Mike Maddox for it. Mike Maddox working with a lot of Nationals pitchers in this regard. Gio's put more of a focus on pitching this year with a purpose, each pitch having a specific purpose. He says he can still reach back for velocity when he wants it, but he's prioritizing command and control this year. That's the focus and the purpose that he's talking about.
Thank you, Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
You go max swing with your driver and hit it in the woods, or you go 75% swing and smooth it down the middle. That's the difference in Gio Gonzalez. He can still throw 94, 95.
Sure.
But he's learning how, through Mike Maddox, and maybe maturity, how to stay in the fairway, so to speak.
Talked to Dallas Braden today, who's here with another network, and he and Gio were teammates for 3 years in Oakland. He said he loves the new Gio that he's seeing. And like you say, he says show him the 95 or the 94 to change their eye levels or get him off the plate and then go get that ground ball.
Yeah.
2-1 to Cespedes. 2 for 4 career with a couple of walks against Gonzalez. He jacks that one to right. Harper going back, and Bryce is there. Playing him deep on the offside, and that's why. 4 straight to start the game. 2 strikeouts and 2 line drives to the right fielder.
Keeping his defense in the game, throwing strikes. He'll slow the tempo down with runners on base. It's been fun for all of us to see this evolution of a left-hander. And speaking of evolution, how about the sideline guy that just had a ball almost hit him in the middle of that hit? He's down there by the dugout. Did you hear the sound while he was talking? I was watching. A ball was thrown out of infield. One of the coaches was throwing it to a fan. It almost smoked Dan. Good job, Dan. Way to stay with it. It was pro all the way. Almost got killed.
Dan Coco, great endurance, now in his 3rd year with us. Here's Neil Walker. There's that changeup for a strike. Walker against Gio 1 for 6 career, but Neil Walker doing well for the right side for the Mets, batting .320. He's 8 for 25. 260 overall. There's the 91 upstairs, and it's playing so much faster, it seems, than 91. Out of play, right side. Inside the numbers with Jeep. The Mets against left-handed starters this season, just not getting it done. A lot of strikeouts. Walker is a switch hitter. ASDRUBAL Cabrera is a switch hitter.
Anytime you keep Duda and Conforto on the bench, I feel like it's a good thing.
And your lefty-lefty against Curtis Granderson, which helps. Lucas Duda, his back still bothering him. Not able to start in this series. And a ball hooking. Well foul. And some talk around the press area today about those fighting Phils. They beat the Marlins again today 4-2. Right now the Phillies are tied for first with the Nationals. A half game up on the Mets. Those guys are 24 and 17. So virtual tie with the Nats, who are 23 and 16. Washington's percentage just a little higher.
I love it. I think it's good for baseball. Phillies playing well. The division's strong. Bring it on. I love it.
4 teams in the division over 500.
Yeah, it's no fun if it's just the Nats and the Mets. And now you got the Marlins in there. The Phillies are playing good. It's early. I don't know if these teams have depth to overcome injuries, but this is great. I love it.
3-2 with 1 out. Close. Neil Walker went running out of there like he knew what was coming and where it was going to be.
So with the new slide rule, that double play to end the second, this wouldn't have happened. There's no way Cabrera can stay in there if you're worried about a guy coming to get you. And if that was Jose Bautista right there, Cabrera's dead. But because you have to slide right into the bag, and the new rule, it allowed Cabrera to be real calm, pick that ball, stand up and throw it. Where last year you're getting crushed and that double play is not turned.
Absolutely, good point. I mean, he looked like he was just playing a casual game of catch right there. So here's Cabrera, 273 from the right side, virtually the same from the left side of the plate. Knows Gio well, 17 career at bats. Players and staff penalized from that brawl in Texas on Saturday between the Blue Jays and the Rangers. There's a tapper over Gio. So Espinosa has to charge and unload it and gets the second out.
Nice play by Danny Espinosa. He knows the speed of Cabrera, knows he's got a little bit of time, no panic. Knows he's hitting from the right side, so instead of fielding this on the run, he sets himself, gets rid of it quick, makes a nice calm play. No panic.
That arm can make up a lot of time on any play. Here's Eric Campbell, the first baseman. By the way, Cabrera now 2 for 18 career against Gio Gonzalez. Campbell is 2 for 15. And playing first base with Lucas Duda ailing. Just guiding that curveball in from the outer edge for a strike. Time given.
Oh, Murphy coming in to talk to Gio.
Challenge fastball fouled back to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gio first inning, 10 pitches, 8 strikes. Catcher Kevin Plawecki on deck in the number 8 spot. Syndergaard is their one pitcher. They'll bat 8th because he's got a good stick. Colon in the number 9 spot tonight. Here's a 1-2 with 2 outs. Off speed, right to Danny Espinosa. Gio, very efficient. Now he adds a couple of ground ball outs to his performance tonight. '27. It's our third Pups in the Park presented by Budweiser. Proceeds from owner and dog tickets benefit the Washington Humane Society. Visit nationals.com/pups. Purchase your ticket. Have a great day at the yard, and they're doing that here in New York tonight. Now
That's a Pomeranian.
Is a big boy.
That's
right
a
there.
Pomeranian. It's a Lhasa Apso doodle. German Shepherd.
All
Mix.
dressed up.
Yeah. One to the left is clearly a poodle. Mix.
Your canine.
I'm nailing them.
Yeah,
I always do.
It amazes me every year. You haven't missed yet.
Well, I used to work.
Despite the people that have texted me and said you haven't hit one yet.
I used to work at a veterinary clinic.
There's Gio. You could never work at Petco Park. I'll tell you that right now.
I used to work at a Petco.
Gio 2 for 10 this year. Has one of his 3 career home runs against Bartolo Colon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colon 2 innings, 33 pitches, 17 strikes. Tried to paint the corner, and he gets the call. Gio thinking, I'll take that when I'm pitching, and walks away. Nissan will track it.
Or he might be thinking that's not a strike, and I'm a little bit teed off right now. Nibblization.
He wanted to hack. Top of the order, Revere and Worth, the next two. So the first time through the order, the Nationals go 1 for 7 with 2 walks. Double play erased the Rendon base hit. Worth and Harper walked first inning. They were stranded.
Offense is cool.
Yeah, where has that first inning offense gone? Of course, last night, all offensive expectations go out the window the way that guy was throwing. But the Nats need to jump on Cologne here and get a lead in this series in game 2 and hopefully set things up for Strasburg tomorrow. Ben Revere took a 3rd strike after working the count to 3-2, leading off the game.
You can just see how Ben's taking these pitches. His timing's a little off as far as he's late. What does that mean? Well, he's got the hitch, the leg kick. He kind of jumps at the pitcher, but he's getting everything started a little bit late, and he's finishing a little bit late, if that makes any sense.
1-2. The dreaded ground ball to second base. A lot of those lately, and Dusty said Ben's got to do something to stay away from that side of the infield. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. It's all brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Victor Robles, 18-year-old outfielder. Single A Hagerstown Suns, the way he's hitting and running. High 8 Potomac may not be far in the future for him.
Call him up. He's ready.
And we are told, yes, it's Robles.
Victor Robles.
First pitch low and away to Jason Worth.
The Mets have a relief pitcher spelled the same way, and it's Robles.
Hansel, first name.
Not Robles.
And right now, Marvin Hudson getting consistent with Cologne on the outside edge of the plate, or close to. Crowd starting to make some noise with 2 outs. They want a 1-2-3 inning. Bartolo hasn't had one yet.
Slider, he only throws that 6% of the time. Look at all the fastballs, 91%. He'll cut it, he'll sink it, he'll elevate it.
And at his age, he might pitch a couple more years. All those fastballs probably saving a lot of stress on his elbow and his shoulder. Who knows how long this guy might go on.
67 years old. He'll be out there.
3-2. Worth walking for the second time, and here comes Harper. 3rd walk of the game.
I like when Jason Worth walks. It's always a precursor, if you will, to him getting locked in, because that's part of his game, a big part of his game.
Bryce 0 for 4 last night. Couple of grounders, couple of strikeouts. Walked his first time tonight. 42 walks, the most in all of baseball. 3 more than Paul Goldschmidt of Arizona. So Bryce adding on to his on-base percentage, which is now over .445. Kind of a BP fastball there at 87. You just add and subtract, move it in, out, change your eye levels.
Well, you know you're going to get a fastball from Cologne. It's just a matter of what side of the plate you're looking. I think if you're a Nats hitter tonight, pick a side. If you're going to look away, stay with it. Don't change. You're going to look in, do it. Don't change. When you get in trouble is when you start changing your game plan based on what he's doing early in an at-bat.
He put that throw right down near the bag. Eric Campbell barely had to move his glove. In fact, Campbell's looking into the Mets dugout. He was back.
And what do I mean by a game plan? As a hitter, you're saying, okay, I'm facing Colon tonight. I'm looking fastball away. And I'm sticking to that plan. And even if he throws the first 2 pitches in, what a lot of hitters will do is if he does that, throws the first 2 pitches in, you change your game plan in the middle of an at-bat. I'm going to look in now. And then you take that one away, and you get caught in between. So whatever it is, regardless of what he's doing to you early in the count, stick with your game plan. You'll get that pitch. You've watched tape. You've seen the scouting report. You've faced him a bunch. You know what he's going to do to you. But when a team is collectively trying too hard and pressing, you start to switch your game plan in the middle of an at-bat. Oh, I'm going to look in now because he threw it. No, stick to it, and you'll get your pitch.
2-1. This might be a carbon copy of the first inning, when even with a man already on base, Colon just didn't give Bryce anything. Murphy next, who hit the ball well his first time. It's 3-1. Dominating on full counts this year. Worth running. Harper takes another walk. 5 base runners so far, only 1 hit. Don't tempt Murphy too many times. Situations like this.
What's Bartolo doing to Bryce? Well, he got a first pitch strike and then he tries to expand and make Bryce go with him. You know, away, there's a cutter in, then back away with the sinker. Then where's he going with this one? Tries to run the fastball back. And then he elevates with 2 strikes. Fish ain't biting. Second walk for Bryce Harper. Daniel Murphy's had the best at bat besides Anthony Rendon tonight with that line drive to left center his first time up.
Mercedes-Benz with that sequence. Murphy lined up to the gap in left center first time up. Thinking left field again. So Murphy with runners in scoring position, 3rd in the league at .438. On the road, came into tonight, .385. .384 against right-handers. Under his hands. A lot like the strike 3 to Revere back in the first inning. And Murphy knew he had to be swinging if it was close.
I'll tell you what, that's a pitch that you see most left-handed hitters raise their arms up and take strike 3. That's a front hip sinker, and he knows by playing behind Bartolo that that's what he does with 2 strikes. And for him to even fire off a swing right there is very impressive. Watch where this ball starts. It's coming back for a strike, and Murphy ain't having it. That's a good foul ball. It's by him another pitch. Maybe he gets a little more plate on this one.
Murphy checks one upstairs and away foul.
Same pitch. This one's just coming back a little more plate, maybe some black, and Murph got all of it. There's a scoreboard around the corner there. He almost hit himself in the face. See that?
Yeah. 0-2. Again. Murphy stays alive by tapping it foul.
Smelled the burn-in wood on the foul ball.
So 0-2 and then 3 fouls. Target away. Murphy out of play, left side.
But he was late because that was 92, which looked a lot harder based on what he's seen. He's seen 87, 88, and then he tried to pop him with a 92 four-seamer and got a piece.
No score, top of the third.
He is in swing mode. What does that mean? Well, as a hitter, sometimes with 2 strikes, you start swinging, you can't stop.
Again. That's fair. Off the glove of David Wright. Worth will score. Harper heading to third. Murphy will stop at first with an RBI single that puts the Nats on top. 24th batted in. That is a major league at bat.
That, folks, is how you win a batting title right there. I mean, you can't draw up a better at bat than that. Fouling off borderline pitch after borderline pitch. He tried to pump 92 past him. He fouled that off. Watch the reach here by Murphy. Just put it in play. Good things happen. And I was talking to some of the guys in the dugout today, some of the local media, and they were asking me about Daniel Murphy and what it's like to watch him play every day. I said, A, I think he would win a batting title because his approach is so consistent and simple, and he grinds out every single at bat, doesn't give him away. I said, B, I think he can have a prolonged hitting streak and do some special things that maybe we haven't seen in a long time in that regard. He's consistent.
Yeah.
And that might have been his best at bat of the year.
Murphy's had 6 hitless games all year long, and he's playing in his 39th game tonight. It's game number 40 for the Nats. So here we are into the 8 o'clock hour. Murphy has put the Nationals on top with his first RBI in this ballpark, not wearing orange and blue. Zimmerman, big chance to double the Nats lead here. Got him.
Yeah.
He sold it to Marvin Hudson, who probably heard 2 sounds, the jersey and the catcher's mitt, and the bases are loaded.
Dare I say, line is moving? It is.
Dan Worthen, the pitching coach, out to talk to Terry Collins, right-hander.
Yeah.
2 sounds.
Click, click.
Ryan Zimmerman hit by a pitch for the 2nd time this year. Anthony Rendon had one of the sweetest swings of the night. A leadoff clean single through the right side, leading off the 2nd. So Bartolo, 2 innings, 33 pitches, and now in this inning, 30 more. Rendon.
Bases ain't empty this time, are they?
6 RBIs on the year. That's up and in. Breaks his bat and then caught by Neil Walker. So the Nats get a couple of walks. Base hit by Murphy. 1-0 Washington.
Toothpick 2. Enjoy drinks, bite-sized culinary delights. You get some salt and pepper shakers too. Go to nationals.com/taste for more information.
I think I see a rice cake over there too.
I don't know what that was. It looked good.
Taste of the world.
We didn't get our complimentary food shot out of that promo.
Here's Kevin Plawecki, the Mets catcher. Gio, first 2 innings, now has the lead. 28 pitches, 19 strikes. If you're wondering why we haven't mentioned their catcher Travis d'Arnaud during the series, he played in the early part of the season, 13 games, and now he's on the DL with right shoulder weakness. It's going to be a while. He's with a personal trainer working on that out in California. He's going to rejoin the Mets soon. So right now Kevin Plawecki is their main guy, and their backup is 32-year-old Rene Rivera.
d'Arnaud's a great player. I feel like he's been hurt a lot though. He had some concussion issues the last couple of years.
Yeah, and he had a bad spell of luck last season too, because he broke his right hand April 19th, hit by a pitch. Then he goes on to hit 268.
I'm a big fan. I like the way the guy plays hard.
Pitchers like throwing to him. 1-2 to Plawecki, hitting 232. Gio strikes him out, going 81 for his 3rd K of the night. Next up, the slugger Cologne. Nissan will track it.
I'm telling you, he's developing one of the better left-handed changeups in the National League, and who would have thought that a couple of years ago? He's primarily fastball, curveball, tinkered with the changeup the last few years, and now it's become his mainstay secondary pitch off the fastball. I think, you know, the development and the feel for that pitch, you throw it with 2 strikes initially, and then when you get the feel for it and the confidence for it, you throw it anytime. Behind in the count, first pitch.
Counts even, 1-1 to Cologne. 1 for 13 on the year, 092 career hitter. Up the middle. Boy, every time he makes contact the rest of the year, they're going to go crazy. Espinosa throws him out.
Well,
so the first time through the order, they go 0 for 8 with a walk.
What if this happened at Citi Field? Would this ballpark still be standing? This was in San Diego, May 7th.
He almost knocked down the Western Metal Supply Company, and then they went in the tunnel and gave him the silent treatment.
The oldest player ever to hit his first major league home run, 42 years, 349 days.
PNC inside some ancient numbers right there. Curtis Granderson, top of the order.
Had one of those moments the other day where a friend of mine told me that if Bartolo Colon could hit a home run, so could he. I said, no, you can't.
Right field, Murphy. Granderson gone. Gio's got something going on tonight.
Same seats.
1 walk in 3 innings, and the Nats on top, 1-0. Ball is brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid. All-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Tonight.
Is that the New York skyline or just a replica of it?
It is. I can see the Chrysler Tower. In fact, the lights here, the stadium lights, and those guys basking in the lights right now, and a 1-0 lead, are made to resemble the Chrysler building. Up at the top with all the neat lighting.
Follow Nats Baseball live with MLB.com @bat app. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet.
You know what Danny Espinosa did first time, and you'll know what he's about to do here as soon as he puts the ball in play. 65 pitches, 37 strikes by Colon, first 2 innings. So the Nats really got his pitch count up in that 3rd frame. One. David Wright respecting Danny's bunting ability. Even though, as FP says, he drags at first base side most of the time.
All the time. I don't know if I've ever seen him drop one down to 3rd.
Wright plays him in the baseline. Espinosa rocks one to the right side. Eric Campbell steals a base hit.
All right, swing by Danny Espinosa. Nice play by Eric Campbell to the backhand side. Hustles to the base. Good swing. Ball was hit right on the nose. And then takes it himself.
Yeah, he told Bartolo, I've got it. Here's Lobatone, bounced back to the pitcher in a 1-6-3 double play first time up. That ended the second inning after Anthony Rendon had led off with a base hit to right.
You know all this talk about make baseball fun again? The guy you're looking at on the screen has fun every single time he plays. I think he, of all the Nats, enjoys himself even when he's playing, which is hard to do. He's always smiling. Looks like he has fun playing every single time he gets a start with Gio. I enjoy watching him. And he seems like he's having fun.
Yeah, one of my best memories. First 40 games of this year, his triple.
Yeah. But I think to make baseball fun again, you have to have fun playing baseball, right?
I'd like to see Bryce smiling a little more. A lot of walks lately.
His game face. He has fun.
And a 1-2.
You know what's fun though? Is winning.
Yeah.
That's fun. And fouling off 5 pitches 0-2 and getting a base hit, that's fun.
To put your team on top in your old ballpark.
Yep.
Lobatone has worked it back to 2-2 now. He's had 4 hits, 6 walks his last 6 starts. Lobatone 8 walks on the season. They've walked him once intentionally. They probably pitched around him another couple of times without the intentional walk. But 8 hits on the year, 3 RBIs attached to him. +14 career home runs. And he hits one to right that'll play for Curtis Granderson, 2 outs. Next 5 ball games will take us through the rest of the road trip. Steven Strasburg and Matt Harvey tomorrow night, and then on to Miami Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. WUSA 9 will join us, and the Mets right back in our ballpark Monday. Fox has the game Saturday night, 7 p.m. First pitch that evening at 7:15. Here's Gio.
Yeah, we're off Saturday. Maybe I'll be in the Clevelander watching the game from that vantage point for once.
Pretty sure I won't be, but have a blast.
That would make baseball fun.
Oh, no. If I'm there, I'll be the only guy sitting in the upper deck, dead center field.
The euchre seat?
He missed the tag. 0-2 to Gio. And he hits one well to left. And Cespedes pulls up. I thought he might challenge that ball with 2 outs. And Gio has his 3rd hit of the year. Some of the fans are groaning. They thought their left fielder was going to grab that one.
Well, they should run out there and try to make that play because Gio hit the ball hard. And then Cespedes decides not to use his glove and watch him use his body to stop this one.
That was interesting.
Well, if you're that big, you can stop a lot of things, I feel like.
Gio, 3 for 12. Get that career batting average up near 100 again. There's Ben Revere. Called 3rd strike and a ground ball to second, 0 for 2. 1 for 6 in the series. And this one in the air for Cespedes. He'll use the glove this time. And that's it for the Nats in the top of the 4th. They've stranded 6 runners already, leading 1-0.
One to nothing. Gio Gonzalez doing his thing. He loves pitching at Citi Field. We go back to September 2013. Key in the driver's seat. Look at Gio with no hair and barely a beard. And you remember this night, Carp? He threw a one-hitter. I think it was Zach double Lutz right here with the only hit of the game. And with replay, who knows what they would have called that? Well, you can't review that. I don't believe.
Right. Well, Adel Moroz tried his best to grab that thing.
So he likes pitching in this ballpark. Fact.
So Gio threw 3, averaging 12 pitches per inning. 37 pitches, 26 strikes. That's Bartolo Colon up to 82 already. So coming into the game, 6-1 with a 154 here. 11 starts. And the opponent sitting 163. Lagares right and Cespedes. 3 right-handed batters in the bottom of the 4th. Juan Lagares, a liner to Bryce Harper, first time. Tried the big sweeping curveball, stayed away. Then it goes changeup. Using that outside edge for a strike.
Check out Jose Lobaton on the frame job here. Watch the subtleness in the soft hands get that call. That's not a strike. He got a strike. And another one.
Yeah, that drew Rendon in from third. The Lagares bunt offer. That's off the table now, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Soft hands, and he lets the ball come to him. He doesn't go out and get it. It's like watching Omar Vizquel play shortstop.
Two again. Tried to buzz that inside edge. Just missing with the fastball. Count goes full. 1 walk, the only blemish on Gio's evening so far. That was Walker, 1 out, 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. 92, tailing away. His 4th K of the night.
Still got the reach back heater and just pitching backwards. Curveball, changeup, soft, soft, soft. Boom, 92. Thanks for coming. Nice comeback by Gio Gonzalez to get the first out here in the 4th.
David Wright, strikeout victim number 2, swinging. 1st inning. Wright career against Gio, 6 for 22. Wow, 78, that thing really diving. Certain guys in certain parks. Then the curveball rolled over to Rendon. 2 outs here in the 4th. Bringing up YOENIS Cespedes.
Oh, maybe it's all the dogs here. Gio is the dog, guys. I think he's got a French bulldog named Stitch. I think that's a French bulldog right there. And that's Stitch. No, wait. No. That's a Great Dane for sure. Mix. I feel like you can say any dog, any breed, just say mix and you got it, right?
You're the dog guy. I'm just listening and enjoying, soaking it all in.
Cesar Millan's got nothing on me, Bob.
Who's he?
Dog whisperer.
Oh, okay. I don't watch this NFTV.
You watch 4 hours every night, right here.
The ultimate reality show, Nats on Masson. That's a strike to the outside edge. As mentioned earlier, Marvin Hudson took a minute to get his strike zone out there, but both pitchers have used it to their advantage against right-handed batters.
It's a good pitch.
And Gio throwing that heater more this inning, feeling good about it.
Why is it a good pitch? Well, guys are starting to get maybe a little comfortable leaning out over for the changeup or the backdoor curveball. You stand them up like that, now they got to think twice about going the other way. And Cespedes hit a ball hard to right last time.
Follows it up with the off speed. 3-1. Cespedes against Gio, 2 for 5 career. Hits one to left, and this game is tied. Only the 2nd homer. Gio's given up here, and for Cespedes, his 13th. A no-doubter, RBI number 33.
Might have been a changeup at 83, caught it out front. And you called it no-doubter. Thought that might be going upper deck.
Cespedes, 119th career home run. And then on the first pitch, Neil Walker skies one to center for Ben Revere. That's it for the Mets. Well, that's what they do. They don't score a lot of runs, and now they're first in all of baseball with 56 home runs.
York. Jayson Werth leading off this inning, coming into this at-bat with 2 walks already today. Werth's home run rate is up this year, but his strikeout rate is also up, and his on-base percentage is down from where we've seen it over the course of his career. Jayson said earlier today that he feels like some of that is that he's been behind in the count a lot thus far this season due to some bad breaks. He, for an example, feels like close 2-1 pitches are going against him, making it a 2-2 count instead of 3-1 when he's got a lot better count leverage. Dusty Baker said today he sees Jayson taking fastballs more than he might normally. With Werth now hitting in front of Bryce Harper, Jayson will probably see lots more fastballs. Dusty would like to see him attack the heater and not get so deep into counts.
First pitch, a little slower than the normal fastball. And that's Dan with our Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Top 5, 1-1 game.
It might be as simple as get him up in the order and he feels like he's in the mix more. You know, he took great pride in hitting third for the Nats. He would talk about that all the time. Like, I know the responsibility of hitting third, and then you get down to 6. Maybe you don't feel as a part of it as you used to hitting third. So now up higher, see what happens.
He's walked twice. So has Bryce behind him. Four walks, and Bartolo Colon in the mid-80s on his pitch count here in the 5th inning. There's that outside edge, and the count's 2-2. Werth career against Colon, 11 plate appearances, and he's been aboard 8 times. 4 hits, 4 walks. His thumb felt very well. He was reaching for that pitch and got it out around the end of the bat.
I think he still gets zingers in that wrist from time to time when he extends.
2-2.
And that one didn't feel good either. Now, he's told us every once in a while when he reaches for a pitch, that left wrist will give him a little shock. That was 2 pitches ago. And then here's the last pitch.
Werth and rifles one right up the middle.
Set him up.
Nats have a hit in 4 consecutive innings, and Jayson Werth on base for the 3rd time.
The old step out of the box, roll your wrist around like it really hurts trick. Works every time. And a nice job of staying through that, didn't he? Boom. Right back up the middle. So on base 3 times, 2 walks, a base hit.
Harper on 2 times. Murphy next. One 4-0 Nats, 1-1-0 Mets.
So you remember in 2014, Jayson Werth hit .292, had 156 hits, 37 doubles, 16 homers. He hit in front of Bryce Harper that whole year. Remember, he was hitting 3rd, Bryce was hitting 4th. And maybe that's the thinking in Dusty Baker moving him up.
Werth on 4 times in this series out of that number 2 hole in 7 plate appearances. But Curtis Granderson is really playing deep in right field.
Yeah, ground ball through the infield's 1st and 3rd for sure.
He's rumored to be out there in front of the 370 mark on your screen. Off speed, and it's 3-1.
It's the new analytics thing we were talking about in Chicago with the Cubs outfielders. They used to play shallow. This year they've done all these studies on slugging percentages. You see Robles getting loose in the bullpen. But take away extra base hits. That's why you're seeing outfielders play deeper now.
Well, it takes 3 singles to score a run. Long third inning when he walked to, hit Zimmerman, and gave up the RBI hit to Murphy. Danger count to Bryce Harper. Let's see how he approaches it. The pitcher, that is. He's going to go outside and walk Bryce for the 3rd straight time. So the first time this happened, there was 1 out. Second time, 2 outs. This time, they're both aboard with nobody out. Dan Worthen to the mound again with the bullpen working.
Well, the last at bat for Murphy was fantastic, and Cologne's early approach was bust him in, bust him in, bust him in, and then he tried to go away at the end. He hit the ball down the 3rd baseline, and I wonder where they're going to go now with Murphy. They bust him in again? He couldn't keep any of those fair.
Yeah. Yeah, they should boo him this time. He hurt their ball club last time. Back up to 400 he is. I tell you, 40 games into the season and you're still batting 400. That is really impressive. Granderson still very deep and right. Murphy got an off-speed pitch. Fair ball. Eric Campbell having some kind of night at first base. Keeps that from being a double. Worth and Harper both move up a productive out.
Well, 3 good at-bats for Murph tonight. Lined out to left his first time up. Base hit last time up, and now Eric Campbell turned into a Gold Glover over there. That's the 2nd hit he's robbed. First Danny Espinosa, and that might have been 3 bags. Who knows where that goes?
With Granderson playing so deep, you're right. Well, Keith Hernandez must be smiling in the booth next to us. Infield back.
Wait, Keith smiles?
Sure. Every time I tell him how great he was. Ball 1 upstairs. I mean, he was as good as it got at first base.
How about Terry Collins having confidence in his offense right here? I think you got to play your infield back. You bring him in, it's 2 runs. You leave him back, maybe it's just 1.
Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 1, hit by a pitch. Trying to add to his RBI total of 17. High strike. Ryan was surprised. It's 1-1. Rendon 1 for 2. Now let's see if Cologne, who throws mainly fastballs, tries to bury a breaking ball with a runner at 3rd base here. Dusty waiting and waiting for this offense to break out. Second and third, 1 out, tie game. Way inside. Zimmerman 10 RBIs his last 14 games. And now the count's full.
got a base here. He doesn't necessarily have to throw a strike.
So he's at 100 pitches. 59% have been strikes. Ryan, good numbers on full counts. Good speed on the bases.
I think it's a right idea trying to go in here in a 3-2 count. If you do want him to put the ball in play, the only place Jayson Werth's not going to score is a ground ball to third. So a lot of times pitchers in these situations try to get you to hit it to a corner. Ryan's trying to fight something up the middle.
It's where the RBIs are in situations like this. Cespedes homered to tie it. Nats trying to answer right back. Zimmerman, that hit his foot and then goes foul. Inside the numbers with Bartolo Colon. How about that? Came into this game 36 strikeouts, 4 walks, 9-1, and tonight it's been not good at all. He's walked Harper 3 times, Worth twice.
You walk 5 guys in a big league game, you should not win it.
And he hit Zimmerman last time. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. It's up to Rendon now with 2 outs.
With first base open, he didn't have to throw a strike, and he took advantage of maybe Ryan trying a little bit too hard to drive in that run. And that's what happens when you're pressing as a ball club. When you're going good, you keep the line moving, you trust the guy behind you, and as a club, when you're scuffling, you try to do it all yourself, and that's kind of how it goes when you're having trouble scoring runs. It'll change.
Anthony Rendon 1 for 2. He's gone the other way twice. As I mentioned at the end of the top of the 4th, the Nats had already stranded 6 runners. 2 more aboard here in the 5th, waiting to be cashed. Wow, Rendon saw that ball fading up and in. So let's see if he's getting both sides of the plate here, Mercedes-Benz.
That's inside.
Wow, that's a tough call. When you're a hitter and you've seen the outside corner be a strike all night.
It's the count. It's either 2-1 or 1-2. The 1-1 pitch was always the most important one. In every at-bat, I think.
Going to go in there again, and Rendon places it perfectly. Here comes Werth. Harper right behind him, and Anthony Rendon, after a tough strike 2 call, puts the Nats on top 3-1. RBIs number 7 and 8.
But he did a nice job pulling his hands in. He knew he was coming back in there based on the last pitch. And look at the quick swing by Rendon, picking up his ball club. Not hit hard enough for Cespedes to use his good arm, and Bryce Harper scores easily. And just like that, Bartolo Colon's night is over, and you just can't walk 5 guys against a good ball club and expect to do well.
Finally, the Nats break through. Call to the bullpen is packaged by the UPS Store. Together, there's nothing we can't solve. Visit theupsstore.com for locations. Guys, number 7 and 8. 5th career hit, actually 6th against Cologne. 2 for 3 tonight. That gets Bartolo out of the game. Here's Hansel Robles. And by the way, thanks to Doug Harris, who just told us that we got bad information. Our young minor leaguer is Robles. So here's Robles, Hansel, 25 years of age, and he makes his 20th appearance of the year. A few raindrops in the ballpark. Danny Espinosa, 0 for 2 against him. Looking for his first base hit of the series.
A fastball 90 floor, slider 85. It's a good time to steal if you're Anthony Rendon. Let's see if Robles gives him a chance. You get the momentum. A little bit of a run. And remember, Robles will quick pitch you too. He's a guy that will come set, no leg kick, and quick pitch you when you're not looking.
57 games for the Mets last year. 3.67 ERA. 61 strikeouts in 54 innings. He's got that long arm delivery.
You see, Espinosa just looked down. He's got to keep his eye on Robles, because when he sees you looking down at the plate, he'll pitch.
Near Danny's front elbow, ball 1.
Remember Larry Bowa with the Phillies last year wanted a piece of him because of it, and his contention was if a guy's looking down, you could kill him because he's not seeing the pitch. A lot of people that think that's kind of dirty pool to quick pitch. I think, hey, you just got to be ready. That's my opinion.
One. And now Danny in the hole. Runner on the move, pitch outside, throw is short. Really good pick by ASDRUBAL Cabrera, made it close. And Anthony Rendon is 5 out of 6 this year.
Or is he? Like every play. Hold on. Pretty good pick by Cabrera. Soft hands, gets the tag down quick. Did it get Anthony Rendon before his foot got there? And
they're going to challenge.
Call down the street to Chelsea, New York. Look at that play by Cabrera. I can't tell if the tag got him though.
Yeah. Glove was on the move, but couldn't tell from that. Mets saw something.
Give me a couple more looks. Por favor. Look at the pick, the tag. Did he get him? Whoa.
Yeah. Is that conclusive enough to overturn the call?
Heck if I know.
Tell you, it looked like Cabrera took a little shot on the right ankle shin area from Anthony's.
Is that on? I can't tell if that's there. It is touching him.
I don't know. Jim Joyce, crew chief Chad Fairchild made the safe call. Here come the headsets. And the Nats have lost the challenge. The Mets are out of the inning. But the Nationals scored 2 runs on the Rendon base hit and lead 3-1. Cast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. From Manhattan over to Queens, and Gio Gonzalez's personal guru during the game is Anthony Rendon, his third baseman. Toyota case for kids. Gio tonight has struck out 4. So that's $37 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health for every strikeout by Gio tonight, thanks to our Washington area Toyota dealers. Asdrubal Cabrera just made a fine play to get that caught ceiling. I mean, he picked that thing. It looked like they had no chance to get Anthony Rendon. Bouncing ball to Espinosa. That was that bouncer over Gio's glove first time. Danny raced in and threw him out. So we'll see how Gio goes for the shutdown inning here, as he has a 2-run lead. In the air to center. Ben Revere, 1 out. Eric Campbell, Kevin Plawecki, the next 2. By the way, Gio threw 4 innings, 53 pitches, 36 strikes, kind of staying right on his average. 12 to 13 pitches per inning tonight. He has only pitched off the stretch for 2 batters. Cabrera and Campbell back in the second after the Neil Walker base on balls.
Touched on a lot of things about the evolution of Gio this year, but one thing we really haven't talked about at length is the fact that Dusty Baker has shown confidence in Gio Gonzalez. He's let him get out of jams. He's stuck with him and allowed him to work through some things this year where that wasn't always the case in the past. You know, he'd go out to start an inning, give up a hit, and he'd be looking over his shoulder all the time. Am I coming out of this game? And as a pitcher, when you start thinking about that instead of what you need to get out of a jam, it's a different story.
Bryce Harper tracking this one into the gap. He's there in plenty of time.
So now as a pitcher, I'm not thinking about, am I getting pulled out of this game? Is the bullpen going to be warmed up? I'm thinking about, my focus is on getting out of this situation where it needs to be. So you show confidence in pitcher, pitcher shows confidence in himself. And we've seen that a lot out of Gio this year. I think personally his confidence was rattled by the last manager, and that's as honest as I can be.
Well said. Here's Kevin Plawecki, the number 8 hitter. Big curveball. Changeup, busted bat, goes the other way. Murph's got to be quick, and he just was by a nose. 1, 2, 3 for Gio. Now there is the definition of a shutdown inning with the lead.
New contour get right to the good stuff. Anthony Rendon with the big knock in this one. Gio doing his thing. Jason Worth batting second in front of Bryce Harper has benefited tonight. A couple of walks, a nice hit with a sore wrist. With the big knock right there, Anthony Rendon. Ryan Zimmerman chased the pitch, and good teams pick each other up, and that's what Anthony Rendon did. The knock, a couple RBIs. Everybody all of a sudden breathing easier, including that guy right there. He's telling Strauss, I need 21 strikeouts out of you tomorrow. You need to break the record. Pretty sure that's what he's saying.
Danny Espinosa, 6th inning. At the plate when Rendon was gunned down. Lobaton to follow, and then Gio. That was a 9-pitch 5th inning, by the way, by the Nats left-hander. Espinosa up there hacking. Hit the daylights out of the ball last time, and Eric Campbell robbed him of a hit. So the runs have come from a Murphy single in the 3rd after walks to Worth and Harper. And then after Bryce, for the 6th time this year, walked at least 3 times in a game. After the Worth base hit, Rendon brought them both home. There's the scoring aspect of your box score.
So Matt Harvey's had some success with Bryce Harper. Does he go after him tomorrow, or does he give him the walk treatment? That'll be interesting game within the game deal.
Bryce is this serious? 0 for 20 I'm looking at?
Yeah, he's not had a lot of success.
0 for 20, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts against Matt Harvey. But maybe not the Matt Harvey tomorrow we've seen. Now Danny walked out of the box like time had been given.
That's the quick pitch.
And it missed, and it's ball 1.
Here's the quick pitch. Watch. He's looking down, and I said he's got to look up, and here it comes. He's not ready.
And you're right. If that ball was up and in, that could be very dangerous. Now he strikes out Espinosa. Into the 9 o'clock hour here at Citi Field in Flushing, borough of Queens, city of New York. And the Nats on top, 3-1, top of the 6th inning. 3-5-0 Washington 1-1-0 Mets on the Cespedes homer. Lobaton lined out to right last time. Facing Hansel Robles for the first time. Gio's 1 for 2, by the way. And you might remember they retired him back in the third on a pitch that didn't appear to be a strike. So he got his evens the next time around. Former Nat Jerry Blevins. 17 games, 2.79 ERA for Jerry, who's not walking anybody. 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. 2-2. Lobaton hanging in there.
And if there was a Hall of Fame for good people, Jerry Blevins would be in it.
Yes, he would.
First ballot.
The at bat from Nissan.
I think he's working him away. He just can't get that breakdown anyway.
Expert analysis.
Yep, it's good stuff.
Privileged to sit next to it.
Yep. You want X's and O's, I'm your guy.
Hey, they're out there again. And he pulls it. Left side, a slide by Walker. He still had time, and he got Jose Lobaton.
A nice play by Neil Walker to get there, but a better play to stay with it. And Jose Lobaton hustling all the way. But look at Walker to the bare hand, the flip. Just gets Jose by a step at first base.
This is interesting. Usually leadoff guys stalled to give their pitchers a few seconds. Looked like Gio wanted to give Lobaton a breather right there.
That was great. You're on that. He knows his catcher's working hard back there tonight, and maybe he wants to swing at the first pitch, so he's giving him a chance to get his gear on.
Gio was trying to take that one straight out to the Big Apple over the 408 mark. Fouled it straight back. Love the way the staff is swinging the bats this year.
It's Bob Henley. It's the first year he's pitched to the pitchers on a consistent basis, in the cage, on the road, and at home on the field. And he tells me the only way he can throw BP is hard. If he throws it soft, he's not throwing strikes. So he tells him, hey, I'm coming after you. Get your foot down early. So it really simulates game speed.
It's cool. Swing and a miss. The staff 16 hits this year. And for Hansel Robles, a 1-2-3-6. Gio back to work. Justin Verlander of Detroit, 2,000 career Ks now, 76th to get there. Chris Davis, between third and home last night on his walk-off grand slam, stopped and took a jump shot with his helmet to honor the Warriors and to walk off with a homer against Texas. And Tyler Goodell led the way for the Phillies today as they beat Miami 4-2 to tie the Nats for first place. All brought to you by T-Mobile.
I'm surprised we don't have a side bet going on the Thunder Warriors series.
Oh yeah, the Oklahoma versus California thing. It's early.
It's earthquakes versus earthquakes.
Oil.
By the way, you messed up that song last night. But that's all right.
No, where the
It's
wind
live.
comes sweeping down the
Who's keeping track? Well, somebody is.
Oil versus avocado.
Somebody just tweeted at me, the Hall of Fame for good people is called heaven. I was talking about alive people.
So it's Matt Reynolds, who played third base last night against Gio Gonzalez. First career at bat against the Nats left-hander. 2-1. Gio first 5 innings, 62 pitches, 41 strikes. A one-hitter, and Gio's done that here before. In this case, though, a monster homer by Cespedes. Over the new wall, over the old wall and the party deck, and about 10 rows up. Back in the fourth. He goes off speed and has Reynolds way out ahead.
I wonder if Gio's out there thinking, why did I throw so hard for all those years when this seems a lot more efficient? I guess if you got it, use it.
Out to center. Sounded a lot better than it looked. Easy play for Revere. So for Gio, 5 in a row since the home run. So the second time around the order, they go 1 for 9. Back up to the top, Curtis Granderson. Mike Maddox has had a dramatic effect on this pitching staff. And when you're talking about a pitching coach coming to a new ball club with so many veteran guys, that really tells you something. I mean, these aren't kids that he's teaching how to pitch. These are guys that have been around for a while, have track records, and he's made them better. Strasburg, he's got him smiling. Max struck out 10 last night. And a strike to Curtis Granderson, who has struck out and bounced out. In fact, the bounce out to Murphy in right field, where he's stationed right now.
Those two together till 21, right?
Yeah. And then Gio, after moving Granderson back, throws one right in there to get ahead 1-2. Trying to throw the fastball by him away.
Throws that big sweeper here.
Got him on it in the first.
Going fastball up.
Still has another pitch to play with. So we're tracking everything up in this at bat. Throws him another fastball. That's Espinosa. 2 outs here in the 6th.
Got his old position over there, huh? Back in town, May 24th through the 30th. Great giveaways. Tickets are going fast. There's the number. There's the website. Peanuts are back in town, folks.
Left-hander Antonio Bastardo. Longtime Philly, not with the Mets. He and Jerry Blevins, the left side of their bullpen. That is for the top of the 7th with Revere and Harper around the right-handed batter, Jason Worth. There's Juan Lagares 0 for 2. Line drive to right, swinging strikeout. By the way, a note on Curtis Granderson now against Gio Gonzalez. 4 for 33 career.
That's when you walk by your skipper and say, it's not my fault. You put me in the lineup tonight.
One with 2 outs. Just off the corner with a changeup. 3-1. If you're Gio, you want this inning to end right here. David Wright next. Cespedes in the hole. A guy you can challenge, Lagares. He'll lace one to center, and it's in front of Ben Revere. Only the second Mets hit, but Gio made Lagares earn his way aboard. Mike Maddox might have seen something. Maybe all those pitches up this inning.
Well, I think it was by design to Granderson, because he's a good low ball hitter. But right now, this is just a breather. Maybe a pump me up talk from Mike Maddox. So you're looking him right in the eye. This is what we're going to do. Let's give it a finish right here. Whatever you got left.
David Wright, a swinging strikeout and a bouncing ball to Rendon at third. Game situation here, with Wright representing the potential tying run.
Coming in hot right here.
A beauty. David Wright's a guy who gets up on the plate. That's why he's been a good opposite field power hitter his career. He's got a lot of coverage out there. 0-2. Lobatone, inner half and down. And David Wright, a veteran take on a breaking ball there.
I tried to make him aware of the heater on the inner half. Maybe thinking with the bat back, I got to cheat to get to that if I'm David Wright, and then throw the curveball off of it, and he's way out in front, but that was never really a strike. So an easy take for Wright.
They just moved Ben Revere a little over toward right center, about 10 feet or so. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball again.
I mean, with what's on deck or who's on deck?
You know, over the years, you've been reluctant to challenge David Wright, but this is where you have to get after him.
Yeah, this is huge. This is the biggest part of this ball game right here, right now.
He gets him. He triples up on the breaking ball.
I'll tell you what, that's what I'm talking about earlier. Gio Gonzalez doesn't have the opportunity to face David Wright last year. Manager showing confidence in his left-hander.
Quite a night here at Citi Field. Great pitching by Gio. Timely hitting by Daniel Murphy and Anthony Rendon, adding up to a 3-1 lead. Top 7, top of the order. Freight Railworks showing you Revere. 181 hits with the Phils and Jays last year. Jason Worth has a base hit, 2 walks, and he's warming things up. And then Bryce Harper, he's hit 7 career home runs here at Citi Field. But the Nats will be dealing with a nasty left-hander. It's Antonio Bastardo.
Yeah, fastball 91, slider 82, occasional changeup to right-handers at 85.
30-year-old lefty with the Phillies, 2009 until 14. 66 games with the Pirates last year. And there's Revere laying one down straight back. 2.16 ERA for Bastardo. First go around this year in 15 games. 20 strikeouts, 17 innings.
You get 181 hits last year. You're Ben Revere. He didn't forget how to hit overnight. And the way I look at this, he's got a lot of fun times coming this year because he hasn't got a lot of hits yet. He knows how to hit. We've seen him. Everybody that's watched him play knows he knows how to hit. So he's got 4 months of a lot of good nights coming is the way I'm looking at this thing.
In the air and heading out of play left side. With more on Revere, here's Dan.
Bob, a lot of us haven't seen Ben Revere on a daily basis. I asked him today when he's going well, where his hits are going. He says a lot of them are the other way, like his one last night, slapped through the left side and through the middle. And I watched him in BP today. I would say 4 out of every 5 swings he was trying to go the other way, up the middle. Dusty Baker added, you never want to look for hits towards the second baseman. He can boot it, he can bobble it, he can kick it and still recover. Ben Revere says he's trying to stay away from those ground balls to the right side, hit the ball the other way or up the middle.
Yeah, Dusty said anything that's not right at the shortstop, you have a chance to beat it out. And the 0-2. Close.
He's so fast, if he can make a shortstop go to his right in the hole, he's going to get a hit in the infield. And that's what Dan's talking about, and that's what Dusty's talking about. He could field it clean on that side, and he can beat it out.
Target in now from Plawecki. And too far in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But hitting it to that side and getting a pitch to hit to that side are 2 different things. The league's been pounding Ben Revere in.
Target away, at least outer half this time. Oh! And he had nowhere to go on a fastball. 92 tracking him. Ben Revere hit by a pitch for the first time this year.
But check it out again. He's diving out there for the outside fastball, and it's right at his head. Watch where this gets him. I mean, that's going right at his head. If he didn't turn at the last second, that could have been a lot worse. And who knows how bad it is right now. Where did it hit him? In the hand, maybe, on the bat? His right hand?
Wow. Worth on 3 times. Jason 1 for 2 career with an RBI. Against a former teammate, this left-hander. Revere and his speed come into play here. Ben 0 for 2. Stealing. One of those was a play where he was called safe and then a challenge got him. And a take by Worth. He's ahead in the count. Mets reliever really slowing down here. And now he's missed with a couple.
That Max Scherzer holding thing's catching on a lot of different places.
Big pitch here with Harper on deck. Doesn't want to go to 3-0. And he does.
Yeah, why not?
Get a cookie?
Yeah.
Be hacking. You're up by 2.
A little different with that kind of deck, but got a single, been on base 3 times, you're feeling good about yourself. And it's his favorite count to hit in.
Right in there to work, taking all the way. Trying to get aboard for the 4th time tonight.
Looking down at Bob Henley to see if Ben Revere is going to start here in a 3-1 count. That's all he's looking for. He wants to know if the runner's going.
(3-1) Nationals, top of the 7th. Revere, good lead. And he rips one to right center. The ball moving away from LAGARES. It's on the track at the 380 mark. Ben Revere racing around third. And with nobody out, Bob Henley put the brakes on it. Mets got it in pretty quickly. So Bob Henley not trying to run anybody out of an inning here. But 2nd and 3rd, nobody down.
Do you see this working how Dusty Baker wanted it to work? You get Jayson Werth to a 3-1 count. You can't mess around with anything but a strike here. Bryce Harper's on deck. So what does Bastardo do? He throws a fastball right down the middle because of who's on deck. You can't mess around with the changeup there or any other pitch. So Baker puts Werth in the 2-hole to get him more fastballs, and it pays off. And wasn't that fun watching Ben Revere go 1st to 3rd? A late stop sign by Bob Henley, but a good stop sign nonetheless. Jayson Werth on base all 4 times tonight, 2 for 2 with 2 walks, 7th double of the year.
And by the way, Werth, 13 of his 18 hits now, extra bases. Infield in, here's Bryce. They've already walked him 3 times. Swing and a miss. Harper against Bastardo. 2 for 12 career with an RBI.
If you're hitting 6th right there and you're Jayson Werth, no offense to whoever's hitting 7th, but you don't get a 3-1 fastball down the middle.
Yeah.
That's a slider, a changeup, trying to make you chase. But because of Bryce Harper and the protection on deck, he got a heater.
Harper a big cut, and it's 0-2.
And as a hitter, Carp, when you have that kind of protection on deck, you know what you're getting there. There's no doubt in your mind. He has to pitch to me, and you're on the heater.
You saw the 2 for 7 runners in scoring position for the Nats tonight. Murphy single in the 3rd, Rendon single in the 5th. And Bryce, a little uncertain there on 0-2, strikes out.
DC Lexus dealers are donating $250 to the Children's National Health System for every home run a Nats player hits this year. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
Daniel Murphy against Antonio Bastardo, 3 for 14 career with a homer, 3 RBIs, 3 walks.
Infield halfway. Terry Collins can't allow any more runs, so I don't know how you're going to cut down Ben Revere at home on a ground ball, but if it's hit sharply, that's the only chance you really have. You'd think that Dusty Baker's going contact play right here with the speed at third.
Worth setting up right behind the shortstop Cabrera. Two and 0. Dusty has watched his ball club have at least one base runner in every inning except the 6th. They've been putting pressure on the Mets guys off the stretch throughout this game.
No righties up in the bullpen for Ryan Zimmerman, so
yeah. Bastardo good numbers against Zimmerman. More on that when it's applicable. And now a step off and a step out. Murphy robbed of an extra base hit by Campbell down at first last time up. Eric Campbell, one of the reasons this is still a 3-1 game.
Your ace swing off on your pitch right here if you're Daniel Murphy. That's what he always talks about.
He got a changeup on 2-0.
The last pitch he was thinking about.
Time requested by the catcher there.
Watching the cat and mouse game going on with David Wright and Ben Revere at third. Wright's trying to keep Revere close so that he doesn't get a good jump on a ground ball. See him kind of jockeying to third base, trying to keep Revere from getting an extended lead.
Murphy high in the air to center. Lagares was playing shallow. He makes a Willie Mays catch. And the Nats score a run on a sacrifice fly to make it 4-1. That guy's won a Gold Glove, and that's one of the great plays you'll see on a ball right back over his head. But Murphy has 2 RBIs, and that's what matters to the Nats.
Well, he's wanting more right here. Daniel Murphy's had a hang with him night. He lined out his first time up. He was robbed his last time up by Eric Campbell, and now he's robbed again by Juan Lagares over his shoulder going toward the fence. An amazing play by the Mets center fielder. So he'll settle for a sac fly. But I think based on Murphy's reaction at the plate, he thought he had a 3-run homer, and so did I.
They've seen that play in this town before. Over at Coogan's Bluff, where the Polo Grounds used to stand. And here's Ryan Zimmerman. 0 for 7 career, and they just let Jason Worth steal third. So Ryan 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts against Bastardo.
And those that don't know, and I always say it when we play the Mets, their colors.
Yeah.
Blue for the Dodgers, the orange for the Giants.
Yeah.
Both teams moved to the West Coast, and it's a tribute to those ball clubs.
Murphy 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs tonight. Very close to 3 for 3 with about 4 or 5 RBIs. 1-1 to Zimmerman. Big run sitting at third.
But to my point about winning a batting title, that's how you do it. You square up every ball. I mean, you have good at-bats all night long. If the hits fall, they fall. But if you're hitting the barrel and you're having good at-bats, they're going to fall more than they're not. And Daniel Murphy tonight has had a great night.
1-2 to Zimmerman. There's a guy with a couple of RBIs and 2 hits.
And you know what's always amazing is when the Giants come into town to play the Mets, how many Giants fans are still in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Same with the Dodgers.
Sure.
This place will fill up with those fans still to this day, and there's certain spots in Manhattan where you can watch the Dodgers and the Giants games, local bars that still televise the games, and there's spots where fans go to watch those ball clubs play. Not that I've ever been there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan took it outside. Well, the back of Citi Field, right behind home plate, the rotunda is in tribute to Ebbets Field, kind of how it looked over there in Flatbush down in Brooklyn. 3-2 to Zimmerman. And he takes the walk. So a hit batter, a double, a sac fly, a steal, and a walk. And Terry Collins headed to the mound with Anthony Rendon. He did have a right-hander up.
I have 8 free base runners tonight for the Nats. 6 walks and 2 hit by pitches.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that it still remains just a 3-run game. Now the Nats may be doing something about it. Rendon up when we come back. Strasburg could be looking to go 7-0. There's Matt Harvey. He's 3-5 with an ERA of just under 5. Lost his last start at Colorado when he gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3. The Nationals have won Steven Strasburg's last 12 starts. 6:30, Johnny and Ray in the studio tomorrow night, Nats Extra. And then first pitch, 7:10 here at Citi Field. There's Logan Ferret, 25-year-old right-hander. He has pitched in 11 games, started in 3, 17 strikeouts in 24 innings, and a 3.75 ERA.
Yeah, fastball, slider, curveball change. Fastball averages 91 miles an hour. Opponents hitting 287 against the Mets right-hander. Can Anthony Rendon get another big 2-out knock?
2 for 3 tonight. He has batted against Verrett in the past, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and the slider is outside. The only position player the Nats have that has faced Verrett in the past. Fastball jammed him out of play right side. Campbell staying close enough to the bag to hold Zimmerman. And Plawecki to his right to smother the breaking ball. 2-1.
Red did a nice job in a couple of spot starts for the Mets this year against Miami and Philadelphia. He's a command and control guy. He's got to really work the corners of the plate, keep the ball down, good sinker. Not going to really overpower you, but he's good at mixing his pitches up and getting you thinking up there. A 16 1/3 scoreless inning streak.
Outside. Third base Worth. He doubled and stole third while they were pitching to Bryce Harper. Actually to Murphy. And then Zimmerman walked. And now Anthony Rendon walks and the bases are loaded. How many free base runners before you take a game and just busted wide open?
What's that, 9 now? 7 walks, 2 hit by pitch. 7 walks. Tough to win a big league game when you walk 7. I don't know if he was pitching around Rendon to get Espinosa. Doubt that you walk a right-hander to get to a lefty, but let's see.
Danny 0 for 3 tonight. Ball 1. And if Verrett doesn't get that call, that could be rough on him. Chopper foul that hit his foot.
This is where Dusty Baker's hoping his squad could put this one on ice. And a certain left-hander down there too.
Gio's been sitting a long time during this inning. One to Espinosa. Walker in right field on the shift. Danny takes a fastball up and away.
Well, here we go. Start him up. Love this play. I know I always say it, but I just love this play.
Worth. Zimmerman behind him. Rendon at first. Jason doubled. The other two walked. Nats 4-1 here in the 7th. Trying to take a stranglehold on this one. And now it's 5-1.
Another walk.
Now everybody on base was given a free pass. Danny Espinosa gets his 15th RBI of the year.
Good at bat. Line moving.
And some folks moving up the stairs to the exits.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 walks.
8 walks and a hit. Actually, 2 hit batters. Lobaton 0 for 3. He goes up hacking and fouls it off to the left. Gio has a nice cushion. His battery mate trying to add on here. And a strike call, 92. Some cheese at the knees right there. And the buried breaking ball that Plawecki blocked.
I wonder when the last time the Mets staff has walked 8 people.
Ball 2. Top of the 7th, approaching a half hour here.
Being told the Mets walked 8 in DC last year in July.
How about that? July 22nd, all those walks, and the Nats won that game 4-3. Tonight, a 5-1 cushion, 2-2 to Lobaton with Gio on deck. Lobaton hanging in there.
Fighting.
Lobaton is swing and a miss. Nationals pick up 2 runs. Murphy a sac fly. Espinoza bases loaded walk.
Let me think about it. How about Gio Gonzalez throwing strikes? Setting up the curveball with all those fastballs in. He's commanded the inner half of the plate with his changeup, setting up the off-speed late. He's used the fastball, too, for a few strikeouts, but 84 pitches for Gio so far, 54 strikes. Getting out of a big jam last inning, striking out David Wright. And guess what? He's still out there.
At Gio, 84 pitches, 54 strikes. Cespedes, Walker, Cabrera. Middle of the order here. So Honda brings us the do-ups. YOENIS Cespedes 3 innings ago. Tied Nolan Arenado with his 13th homer. Neil Walker right up there with the best among second basemen, 20 RBIs. Daniel Murphy, by the way, has 25. And then ASDRUBAL Cabrera, he's had an effect in this game with his gloves so far. Don't look now, but Daniel Murphy's chasing Bryce Harper for the team RBI lead. First pitch, 89, perfect on the edge. Cespedes, a liner to right first time. Went 0 for 2, hit by a pitch here last night. Time given. Home plate umpire Marvin Hudson was looking up toward the press box. Oh, the Big Apple hadn't gone down yet from the 7th inning stretch. Now it's disappearing into its pouch.
Go to your home, Apple.
They forgot to drop the apple. Look at Cespedes just stroke a ball into right field. That guy's a good hitter. 3 good at bats tonight. He's aboard. Bottom of the 7th. Next up, the power hitting second baseman Neil Walker. A walk and a fly ball to center.
So this will tell you how Gio Gonzalez is feeling this at bat right here. In these situations, he pitches the bottom of the strike zone or below for the ground ball. If he's missing up, he's tired. And it doesn't look like he's tired to me.
With that in mind, perfect first pitch. Breaking ball, ground ball. Quick enough to get 2? No way. They take the lead runner. All you want at this stage of the game are outs.
Well, you couldn't hear what I was thinking, but I was saying to myself, just get an out.
Yeah. Next up, ASDRUBAL Cabrera. He has bounced out to Espinosa and hit a fly ball to center. Oh for 4 last night, hit into a couple of double plays. So the Nats have pitched him well in this series. He drills one to center. That's on a hop in front of Ben Revere. Attacking early in the count, 2 on. Eric Campbell is next. Felipe Rivero and Sean Kelly.
It's Dusty Baker stirring. Here comes Mike Maddox, maybe to give some relievers a few more pitches. A little stall piece. Dusty Baker calling back his pitching coach. Hey, take your time. Oh, he's calling him back all the way. Maybe Dusty Baker going out.
Campbell is 2 for 17 career against Gio, 0 for 2 tonight.
And here comes Mike Maddox.
So they just turned on the 30-second clock for the pitching coach.
I don't think he's going to take long. This is just a little pump me up. Make sure both barrels are loose in the bullpen. And that was something about make one good pitch and you're out of this, because Mike Maddox pointed to the middle infielders there as he was walking away. Gio, who do you got on a double play? And the way Espinosa is shaping up here, he's got Daniel Murphy on a comebacker, and that's just to get Gio thinking the right way. Who do you got on a double play right here?
And he drops in the breaking ball for a strike. Campbell has bounced out to short, hit a fly ball to right. Then that 90 plays a little harder, and the right-handed batter's late.
Always like the Gio changeup for a ground ball. Sinker's been good all night long. He rushed him with a fastball in right there for strike 2. But if you want that ground ball, that changeup down the way is tough to elevate.
He goes with the hook, low and inside. Five-1 game. 2 on, 1 out, and a 2-2 pitch. Base hit. Worth charging around third. Walker, he'll be held, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. Just like that, the tying runs in the batter's box. In their catcher, Kevin Plawecki.
Talking at Dusty Baker, he came to the top step. He went back to his notes. Decision time for the Nationals manager. Does he stick with his lefty here, or does he go with Sean Kelly? I think it would be Sean Kelly versus Lucas Duda if he brings in Kelly, depending on if Duda's able to play. And I think that's what Dusty Baker's thinking. What does he want? The guy that's been out there successful, or does he go to Sean Kelly versus Duda? And we'll see if Terry Collins brings up his big left-hander in this situation.
Yeah, looking like a double switch now. So Gio will go 6 1/3. He gives up more hits in this inning than he had given up the entire game. 3. Michael Conforto, left-handed batter. Lots of wheels turning here. A defensive change and a pitching change coming here in New York. Kia dealers. Visit dckiadealers.com to learn more. And by Airlines for America, where airplanes land, opportunity takes off. Interesting move by Dusty. He follows the lefty Gio with the lefty Rivera, even though Plawecki's right-handed, because the rest of the Mets bench are all left-handed batters.
With pop.
Yeah. Takes Duda, Conforto, and De Aza out of the mix, at least for the moment.
And righties
And Wilson Ramos on the double switch, by the way.
Well, righties are hitting 146 against Felipe, so all of a sudden the crowd here at Citi Field into it. But I like the move by Dusty Baker. We'll see how it works.
Plawecki a strikeout and a ground ball tonight. He's 0 for 1 career against Felipe Rivera. Walker reached on the fielder's choice after the Cespedes single. Cabrera singled up the middle. Campbell to left. 1-0 pitch. Right in there with a heater. With a lot of hair on it at 96. There's Michael Conforto. The only right-handed batter they have is their backup catcher, Rene Rivera. Plawecki takes 88, a changeup that didn't miss by much. Got to throw him a strike here. Don't want to go to 3-1 with the bases loaded. Sizzling fastball to the outside edge.
Boy, if I'm up with the bases loaded, 2-1 count, you got to be looking fastball. It was right down the middle. Maybe Plawecki just was thinking about something else. That's the one you gear up for.
Two pitch. Little chopper. One play, it's at home. And so the 1-2 force play for the second out.
A good pitch right here. Got in on him with the heater. He just tried to fight it off. Nice play. Underhand to Wilson Ramos. Sort of a neighborhood play at home plate-ish.
Michael Conforto facing Felipe Rivera for the first time.
Gio grinding in the dugout after he just pitched as good as we've seen him pitch this year.
Right through the wickets, but the ball comes right back.
It's got to be a strike. It's right down the middle. Did they call that a strike?
They got ball one on the board. I don't know if there was a cross up there or what, but Ramos visiting with his pitcher there.
I mean, this is right down the middle. I guess you got to catch it for a strike. I'm shocked that Marvin Hudson didn't call this a strike. Crossed up, obviously. It's right. Look at the pitch track.
I think hit at the bottom of the advertising sign and came right back to Wilson Ramos. Nats get a break even though it's ball one. That one's in there.
That was lower than the first one, guaranteed.
Conforto this year 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter.
Look at the first pitch. This has to be lower.
How about that? So everybody crossed up on the first one.
Should be 0-2.
Felipe is throwing 96. Just inside. Bouncing ball, Zimmerman to Rivera, and the Nats are out of the inning.
Stomped on the bag with authority right there for the third out.
Hey, show a little emotion. Baseball's supposed to be fun. When you're ahead 5-1 on the road, it is.
Look a little worse than it is. Top of the 8th, 5-1. Let's check it out. Felipe Rivera doing a great job. Watch him get over to first base. He hustles, and the exclamation point at the end. Boom. I love it. A little flare from the left-hander. Good play by Ryan. Good flip. And nicely done. Dugout digging it. Gio Gonzalez definitely digging it. Way to go. Way to leave my runs out there. Way to keep us ahead. Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
The Midas touch, man. He's pulling all the right strings here early.
Yeah, a bit of an unconventional move, but then he got the lefty-lefty matchup against Conforto.
That's exactly what he wanted. He knew what Terry Collins had on his bench. He knew what bringing in a lefty would do to the situation, and that goes to he doesn't get enough credit for being a great in-game manager and being really good at what he does.
32-year-old former Nat Jerry Blevins to the mound. Blevins for New York this year, 17 games, a 2.79 ERA, 11 strikeouts and 9 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. Wilson Ramos on the double switch leads off for the Nationals, top 8. He'll be facing a former Battery mate here for the first time. So the Mets sent 6 men to the plate in the 7th inning and could not score. 89 at the letters. Blevins with the Nats, 2014, 64 games, 4.87 ERA, 66 strikeouts in 57 innings. There's his changeup. Looks like they want to pitch Ramos away. They give him a big gap in left center, and he rams one out to right center here. So they had him played right, and they pitched right to it. Juan Lagares handles that. First out, 8th inning.
So these very New York Mets are coming to town, folks. First time in 2016, defending NL champs at the ballpark, May 23rd to 25th. Daniel Murphy's going to greet him personally with his bat. Go to nationals.com/tickets for more details.
Nats fan fully decked out, enjoying this one.
Guy's pen. Maybe he's keeping score. Or he's waiting for autographs, probably.
He'll be signing right after the game.
He'll be outside the hotel with all the other 40 autograph seekers that are there every day, waiting for Bob Carpenter. No, I'm not signing today, guys. Sorry.
I would never do that, especially after a 2:32 game last night. We were out of here in a hurry. Ben Revere 0 for 3, hit by a pitch, turned out to be an integral play for the Nats, leading off the 7th. He and Worth, who doubled to follow, scored the 2 runs. Revere against Blevin's career 3 for 11 with an RBI.
Go for 9 walks? Wait, no, there is 9. This will be 10, right?
I've got it. Let's see.
It's hard to keep track when it's this high.
I have 8. Cologne 5. Bastardo 1. Verrett 2. Now there were 2 hit batters, so 10 free base runners. Although Ben does not want to wear another one like that. 3 and 2. And the bouncer to the second baseman. Walker, 1 out. 2 outs now. That'll bring in Jason Worth. So last week, Max made history with his 20 strikeout game. Gio following up Max last night here, and he struck out 10. Gio another good outing tonight. And it'll be Jason Worth with 2 outs. Some dramatic pitching performances for the Nats lately as this rotation continues to do very well. Strasburg tomorrow. And Jason's had a perfect night. 2 walks, 2 hits, 3 runs, and a stolen base. His first of the year. He hasn't stolen the base that easily since Carlos Marmol let him walk over to third base at Nationals Park a couple years ago.
11 for 11 in his career against the Mets.
So Jason, 2 games on base 5 times in 8 plate appearances. Blevins gets the call on a 2-0 pitch downstairs.
The best part about Citi Field when it's packed and rocking is you can't hear that guy, whatever that guy is, ragging on you. When it's packed, it's just electric. There's a buzz in the ballpark. But when it starts to empty, then you hear that guy, whoever it is. And you can hear it when you're playing, trust me. But when it's blended in with 35,000 people, hard to pick up.
Jason Worth on for the 5th time tonight. So Worth and Harper combined 6 walks. Yeah, I heard the guy below us earlier go, Murphy, where were you during the World Series? And I wanted to holler, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have been in the World Series.
No kidding.
Come on. Bryce Harper, Jerry Blevins 0 for 1 with a lineout last year. Bryce 0 for 1 tonight on base 3 times and a run scored. Walker out into right field. Jim Henderson has been their primary right-handed setup guy for Juris Familia this year. Jerry Collins is going to have to employ at least 6 pitchers in this one tonight. It's a ball in the dirt, gets away, but Plawecki keeps it in front, so Worth cannot advance. Atlanta Braves won tonight. They won 3-1 at Pittsburgh. They got their 10th win of the year. They're 1-1 under Brian Snitker.
Did you hear how Freddie Gonzalez found out he was getting fired? They sent him an email with his itinerary back to Atlanta. They were on a road trip. The ball club was going to Pittsburgh, and he got an email that says, here's your plane tickets back to Atlanta, and he hadn't heard anything yet.
Unbelievable. Do you have to save money that bad that you book the ticket before you tell the guy?
I don't know. You check your email lately?
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. 3-1 with 2 outs. That's a strike. Bryce was ready to take off the shin guard. Now he'll do some landscaping and get back in there.
High strike. Ish.
Worth off and running with this 3-2 pitch. 2 outs in the 8th. And there's a walk. 4 walks tonight. Bryce Harper has now walked 45 times. I'm going to go back to the 1st of May and just see how many walks he had at that time. The Nats were in St. Louis, and Bryce had walked 17 times going into the game on Sunday, May 1st. So now in the month of May, he has walked 28 times.
But look what 2 and 3 did tonight. Jason Worth on base 5 times. Bryce Harper on base 4 times. 10 walks by Mets pitchers here tonight.
Murphy, 1 for 3, a line drive out, an RBI single, a hard hit out. There should have been a double down the right field line. Campbell stole it away, and then that long fly ball for the sac fly in the 7th. So he's done some ripping. Murph is 0 for 3 career against Jerry Blevins.
Yeah, 1 for 3 tonight, and he could be 4 for 4 with any luck.
Yeah, the sac fly to center. Last inning was a Willie Mays play by Juan Lagares.
Eric Campbell dove and stole a hit from him, and then he lined out hard to Cespedes his first time up.
0-2. Murphy couldn't reach the breaking ball. Plawecki to first, and that's it for the Nationals in the top of the 8th inning. They've stranded 11, but they've plated 5 and lead by 4.
Nats doing a nice job working some walks tonight. You can text 29292 for in-game alerts so you know when a big play is on the horizon. Text 29292 and you might find out that Max Scherzer's having a good game or something. And how about Felipe Rivero coming in, pumping strikes, throwing 96, 97. He gets a big out with the bases loaded. And then a ground out with 2 outs and some stompage of the baggage. And Gio and Dusty, hugs everywhere.
Felipe Rivero stays in and faces Curtis Granderson, who's 1 for 4 against him. Had a base hit against Felipe last night, but then erased on a 5-4-3 double play ball. Granderson a big rip and straight back and win. 1 ball, 1 strike. Goes off speed.
What if you led Bryce off?
He'd be on first base every night.
That's what I'm thinking.
Interesting thought.
Out loud. Probably should have kept that one in my head, but I mean, it would be a guy that would be on base all the time. He's not having opportunities to drive in runs because when that situation presents itself, he's getting pitched around.
Yeah.
I like what Dusty did putting Jason second, though. You could just see how that's worked in 2 games. Last night, whatever, that's a hang with him. You tip your cap to Noah Syndergaard. He was amazing. But tonight, in front of Bryce, on base 5 times. Weren't they shake and bake last year? He and Bryce Harper.
Best duel since clip and save. 2-2. He just bolts the fastball in at 97. Felipe Rivero has come into this game and retired 3 consecutive Mets. Dusty coming to get him with LAGARES coming in.
They're going to get a right-hander. Felipe Rivero pumping strikes. Confidence level on high. Getting the job done once again.
Well, Dan told us that Felipe made a little adjustment. Arm angle, he's been good.
Outs here at Citi Field. Sean Kelly now on the mound for the Nationals. We've mentioned Sean Kelly's high percentage of breaking balls thrown this season, a lot of sliders, and I was talking to Kelly recently about that. He says he throws different types of sliders. He can manipulate it so that he can throw it for a strike, for a ball, has different types of movement depending on how he throws it, so he feels like it's almost different pitches because he can throw it different ways. That slider percentage very high up there, but he kind of views it as multiple types of breaking balls depending on how he decides to throw it, guys.
Well, this is a guy that's very important to this bullpen. He's a bridge from the starter. In this case, from REVERE to Treinen or Papelbon to follow, depending on how the score ends up here. 2 outs, actually 1 out here in the 8th, and Juan Lagares against Sean Kelly is 0 for 2 career, with a sac fly and an RBI. There's the breaking ball, stays upstairs.
His fastball's been real good lately with location and velocity.
Right now averaging 10.34 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's a good heater right there.
Kind of a short arm delivery, and it jumps late, even though it's 92, which is still really good. It seems like hitters have trouble seeing it.
That one was up. Zimmerman over to cut it off, and he gives Kelly a perfect lead to the bag. 2 outs. David Wright will be next. Wright will face Kelly for the first time. Five-1 Washington, bottom of the 8th. And out here would erase a lot of suspense with Cespedes on deck. But Felipe Rivero coming up big. 3 outs, 15 pitches, 9 strikes.
See how the hitters are late on 92? I don't know if they have slider on their mind or what, but watch the short arm delivery. Boom. And it's quick 92. Quick arm. Late life.
Wow.
Little cut to it, maybe.
Ramos set a low target. That one sailed upstairs. 2-2. Give him your best bolt here and see what happens. But make David Wright earn his way on. He did it. Challenge fastball at 92. It's a 1-2-3-8 behind Rivero and Kelly. And we go to the top of the 9th. That's 1 inning to go to even this series. It's 5-1 Washington. Espinosa. Nats trying to grab this one tonight, set up a rubber game tomorrow between unbeaten Steven Strasburg and a little bit beaten up Matt Harvey at 3-5 with an ERA of 4.93. Strasburg career against the Mets 4-3. It'll be his 10th start against New York with a 2.78 ERA. Here's Jim Henderson.
Lots of heaters. Fastball 93, slider 84, 2 pitches. You're at 2.08, 19 strikeouts, 5 walks. Opponents hitting 204.
33-year-old from Alberta, Canada. Big city up there, Calgary. And it's his 19th appearance for the Mets. 2.08 ERA, 13 innings, 19 Ks, and he's been the guy setting things up for Familia. Ryan Zimmerman against Henderson, career 0 for 1. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch and a base on balls for Ryan tonight. And that went upstairs. Hard hit. Ryan Zimmerman on for the 3rd time tonight. He's thinking 2 until they stop him, and LAGARES will. Ryan Zimmerman's 2nd hit in this series, and he was on base for the 4th time. Actually, yeah, 4 times in 8 plate appearances. Some of the Nats only batted 3 times last night.
A nice salvage for Ryan Zimmerman. On base 3 times, as you said. Turned an 0 for 2 into a 1 for 3. Thinking about 2, but LAGARES doesn't just throw well. He's accurate, too.
Yeah.
That ball was right on the base. He throws people out.
Rendon's been on 3 times tonight. So the early returns are looking good, FP, on the Worth batting 2nd, Rendon batting 6th combination.
Yeah, I like it.
1 for 1 career against Henderson.
I think it's important to make a point when a team walks as much as the Nats did tonight to emphasize that they're not just 4-pitch easy takes, easy at-bats.
Right.
The Nats hitters have been grinding these at-bats out tonight, fouling balls off, you know, keeping at-bats alive, going deep into counts, earning their walks. I think a lot of times we just say, oh, they walk 10 times, it's the Mets pitcher's fault. Well, yeah, but a lot of that is the approach by the hitter, too. Walks aren't easy. Unless they're intentional. And I think the Murphy at bat tonight was one of the key moments in this game. You know, you're having trouble scoring. The offense is a little bit stagnant. He fouls off 5 0-2 pitches and then flips one down the 3rd baseline. It's a big sigh of relief for everybody in that 3rd base dugout.
Rendon, base hit in the 2nd. 2-run single, the big blow of the game in the 5th. Got the Nats on top. 3-1 at that point. Then the add-ons in the 7th. Inside, and Rendon had to turn away from that. 3-2, nobody out. Another walk. That's 11.
Breaking news. I don't know that I've ever wrote BB in my scorecard so much.
I'm saving ink. I just do W.
Do you?
Well, and then I put the number next to it for each pitcher, knowing that's his first.
Terry Collins is doing it right now, too. Look.
Yeah.
W.
And Dan Worthen's really tired of seeing it.
11.
So we've gone back to 2005, the first year of the Nats. And evidently this ties a record for the most most walks the Mets have given up since '05, when the Nats were born, in any game. Espinosa to right. It'll play for Granderson. Zimmerman, plenty of time to tag and go to third. So a productive out for Danny Espinosa. It's a corner situation with one out. And the pitcher spot coming up. It's going to be Clint Robinson. And we'll check and see how many walks the Nats have drawn in a ball game. If this is a record or near or close to one.
I just saw on Twitter where Care First Blue Cross is bankrupt tonight because of all the walks. They have totally shut down. $50 for every walk.
They're not the first healthcare company that's happened to.
They're done.
Clint Robinson. First at bat against Jim Henderson. And Clint takes, that's a good looking strike, tailing down and away. He's 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter with a home run. 11 walks or more by the Nats 4 times. The team record drawing walks is 12. It's happened twice. Robinson, a healthy hack, a little bit late. But it's the most in 8 years. First and third, one out. Clint Robinson 0-2. Trying to make it 6-1. Runner goes at first. And that'll be out of play. Anthony Rendon had a really good jump. And with the catcher almost standing up, Henderson gave him a fastball up and away.
Sammy Solis getting hot. And Clint Robinson trying to take this game out of Grand Slam range for the Mets.
Good news is Cespedes can't tie the game when he leads off. There goes Rendon again. And that's a swing and a miss by Clint Robinson for the second out. Rendon stealing second base, his 5th of the year. With 2 outs and runners at second and third, it's up to Wilson Ramos. Also facing Henderson for the first time. On the attack early, look out. That bat goes flying into the seats. It hit a rail. That rail you see to the left, and a guy with an Expos uniform comes up with the bat. He's going to give it to the youngster there. Wow.
We were talking about that earlier, and you mentioned Wilson Ramos in the bat tossing club. Glad everybody's okay, because that had some velocity on it.
Well, the usher comes and takes it, and they're booing him.
Masson Dan is helping out down there.
There should be a trade, though, right?
I don't know. Ask Dan.
They'll give him something.
You'll get nothing and like it, Spalding.
Dan just gave the fan, hey, hold on, we got something. Dan Colco, reporter ambassador here on Masson. Johnny and Ray are in the studio. Nats Extra postgame show when this one's over, presented by who but WB Mason.
I think all bat boys should wear suits. It's a good look.
1-1 with 2 outs. That's brutal. Ramos first at bat in the 8th, leading off, lined out to center. He's been swinging the bat great all year. 14 RBIs. That's up and in. And Dan Coco just handed off another bat to the usher. Now the Mets fans love the Washington Nationals.
Courtesy of Mass and Dan.
You know, who knows? It might be a. Could it be a Bryce Harper bat or a Daniel Murphy bat? We'll see. We'll find out.
Very cool.
Hey Dan, what kind of bat did the kid get in return?
Bryce Harper came over to me and handed me one of his own bats, guys.
No way.
That's awesome.
All taped up and game ready, handed it right off.
That's good karma right
well
there.
done, Bryce.
Yeah.
Nice going, Dan. Bryce loves the kids and they love him.
I think it'll be on eBay in 30 minutes.
It better not be. Ramos, another foul. Baseballs, bats, souvenirs flying all over the place.
That's great. Good for him.
Mom's got to tell everybody now. The nice man in the suit just gave us a Bryce Harper bat. Ramos the other way. Zimmerman scores. Rendon scores. And Wilson Ramos puts the icing on the cake tonight with RBIs number 15 and 16.
See, that's the baseball gods. It's good karma.
Karma.
Base hit, couple RBIs. You give a kid a bat. Nice swing by the Buffalo.
7-1 Washington.
Second time the Nats have picked up a couple of RBIs with 2 outs tonight after the 1-out attempt failed. So nicely done and picking each other up.
Top of the order, Ben Revere. 0 for 1 with a walk against Henderson, and that's a strike. One to Ben.
Ben Revere needs a feel-good knock right now.
Pretty healthy hack. Well, if this all holds up, the Philadelphia Phillies will be in second place at the end of the night. Dan Revere strikes out on a hard-breaking ball, but the Nationals, thanks to Wilson Ramos, pick up a couple of runs. 7-1, 3 outs to get. Take a stroll back to the hotel tonight in honor of this one. 13 miles away. Sammy Solis will take over here in the 9th inning. And you've talked about this before. It's a one-sided game, but a young pitcher, it means something to him to be on the mound in the 9th inning for the last 3 outs.
Yeah, get the last 3 outs, shake hands. It's an honor at the major league level. It's an honor at any level. So Sammy Solis has been doing a nice job of attacking hitters and pounding that strike zone with his fastball.
Michael A. Taylor into the ball game. He'll take over in center. Ben Revere will thus move over to left. So we hope he doesn't have to bat again, but Taylor's in the number 8 hole. Although they could put him second. We'll see. Right now they list the pitcher in the number 2 hole. So here we go, bottom of the 9th. YOENIS Cespedes facing Sammy Solis for the first time. Strike call. It's even at 1-1.
He's thinking ahead to tomorrow. You think that in the Cespedes-Strasburg matchup, he'll throw him that slider that these Mets hitters haven't seen yet.
Yeah, you're right. You know the word's gotten around, but nothing like seeing the guy, huh?
Word's one thing. Stand in the box and seeing that thing at 90 hang a left is another.
Perfect night for YOENIS. In terms of making contact, 2 for 3, is only out a hard line drive. And then Sammy Solis turns one over on him to get the strikeout here in the 9th. Neil Walker is next. If the Mets get a couple of base runners, and need more than a couple right now.
Dusty ain't messing around.
Murphy, the call. He had the best angle. Ryan Zimmerman happy to get out of dodge on that one. 2 outs, and the bullpen having quite a night here.
Gio had quite a night. Bullpen's having quite a night. The offense came alive with some great at-bats. The Nats took the crowd not only out of the game, but out of the ballpark. There's nobody here.
Yeah, 30,100 were at one point. And here's ASDRUBAL Cabrera. Neil Walker just popped up, and Cabrera is facing Solis for the first time. Things happening quickly because Sammy's pumping strikes.
Doing his thing, going right after guys, being aggressive.
One and one to Cabrera. Haven't had many like this, where it's one-sided down the stretch.
You mean a laugher?
Yeah. It's trying to get it to back to 8 over 500. Dusty says his goal is always to be 10 games over, and any manager would love that. That's a drive into the corner by Cabrera, his second consecutive hit, and he'll dig for 2 here in the 9th inning, bringing in Eric Campbell. His first at bat coming up against Sammy. Campbell 1 for 3 tonight. 2 outstanding defensive plays. That ball ripped into left. Ben Revere grabs it, and the game is over. That's why you make defensive changes with guys with that kind of speed. And the Nats win it on a 6-hitter. Gio is 3-1. They beat Bartolo Colon, and the Nats get a split in the series so far, with a big rubber game coming up tomorrow. 7-1 Washington for FP and Dan. Bob Carpenter tomorrow. Nats Extra at 6:30 pregame. And then Steven Strasburg against Matt Harvey. Should be a big one. And from Citi Field in New York, this has been a presentation to Masson. Johnny and Ray straight ahead with Nats Extra. And from Citi Field, great win for the Nats tonight. See you later.